Morning, sixth grade. Welcome to getting into our chapter 4. Yesterday we got introduced with the skill of cause and effect. We learned a little about muscle movement. We learned a little bit about breathing and understanding how one cause can lead to effect, which might be another cause and another cause and another cause to effect. Today we're going to get introduced to how our body is organized. We'll start talking about our body systems, the introduction to it, and then the rest of the chapter will be talking about each one of our individual body systems as we go through it. So you can see up here, we got our goal today. How is the body organized? We got our summary answer of that statement. Cells are the building blocks of your body. That's why we studied those in the last few chapters. Specialized cells make up different body parts which work together to meet all the needs of your body. And a nice pretty picture of the start of a triathlon here with everybody jumping in the water and starting to swim. How exciting. Let's get going about our cells working together. Your body is able to do some pretty amazing things. You can run and catch a ball, you can write, you can read, you can dance, play an instrument, or even create your own music. No one body part is responsible for any of these activities. Instead, each part involved contributes in its own way. Obviously, it's a science book, guys. It's not going to bring in God at all, but you are definitely an amazing creature with all those things that we can do. Some of you who are gifted athletically, run, jump, catch a ball, throw, all those things, it just seems to happen so easily. You musical people and the way you can play and get your fingers doing that and reading notes and doing all those things. The creative side of people, absolutely amazing. Make sure we thank God for what He's done for us. The human body is an amazing system made up of more than 75 units, thousands, millions, billions, trillions. Your body has about 75 trillion cells. These cells are so small that a sheet of about 10,000 of them would only cover the head of a pin. Every one of these cells is a living unit, which we've been talking about for 2 chapters. At the same time, each cell is part of a larger living unit, which is you. Millions of chemical processes go on in your body every minute. Those chemical processes take place in the cells. Cells depend on each other to keep all the body's internal conditions in balance so that all cells can work properly. For example, the important processes that go on in your body cells can only happen within a particular temperature range, which in science is 37 degrees Celsius. Guys, science will always be in the metric system. That's how they communicate around the world. So you'll see everything in centimeters and meters and Celsius, even though in America we're used to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Just understand your science world. Cells in different parts of your bodies work together to make up your body's temperature stays in that range. Your body depends on its cells to make it run smoothly. So you had trillion, you had processes. Cells depend on each other to keep the body's internal conditions in balance, so what's going on inside your body. And one of those internal processes that's very important is maintaining your body temperature. You get too hot, you can overheat, that can kill you. You get too cold, that's hypothermia, that can kill you. So your body works really hard at doing that, and it does that automatically. I start running around, my body automatically sweats. That's how it cools me down. I start to get cold, my body automatically shivers. That's how I warm up. And in the winter, guys, what your body does is, think about the first things to go numb on you. Usually your toes and your fingers, if you're just out in the cold and properly clothed. The reason that is your body says, hey, my body temperature is starting to drop. And it's literally saying, I need to pump blood where I need to stay alive. In all honesty, I can live without fingers and toes. That's why they go cold first. You're not getting as much blood there. I can't live without a heart or lungs or anything in my chest and stomach, right? That's why that usually stays warm, guys. Your body automatically pumps to your organs first to try to keep them alive. So this internal processes, guys, will be a question on your test. Super important, maintaining body temperature. Last paragraph. The surprising thing about cells is that they do so many important tasks, but that they're so small. The largest cell, the human egg cell in a female, is about the diameter of a human hair. Most human cells are much smaller. How can so many tiny individual cells in the body work together so efficiently? The answer is the way that they are organized. Number 5. So God is certainly amazing that we can take microscopic things, and those microscopic cells literally maintain my body temperature, give me the energy that I need, all those things. They're constantly dividing and making replicas of themselves. At the same time, they're dying off. It's just absolutely amazing. Heading on to the next page, let's see about our levels of organization. Although all cells are made of the same basic parts, each type of cell is adapted to perform certain activities and functions. So I love that, guys. You're over here with the word activities, but we talked about the difference like between plant cells and animal cells. On your last test, you talked about how your brain and your muscle cells have way more mitochondria than your skin. Why? Because it needs way more energy. So your cell is designed to perform its certain tasks or functions. Keeping the body in balance requires many different activities, but each cell does not have to do them all. Cells are organized by the activities that they do. Similar cells that work together to perform a particular function in your body make up tissue. So what's a tissue? Similar cells work together to perform a particular function. So I take like cells, put them together, I get tissues. We're going to move our way down as we get this little picture understood today. All right, let's get an example of tissue. Cells that contract or shorten make up your muscle tissue. When the cells that make up muscle tissues contract, some part of your body moves. You use muscle tissue when your eyes move to read this page or when you move in your chair. So muscle cells we talked about, they're cells that contract. What does contract means? It means to shorten. We talked about that yesterday in our skills. It's how you flex your muscles. Anytime you flex your muscles, something is moving. We usually think of muscles moving our bones. I usually don't think about the muscles in my eyes. That's going back and forth on this piece of paper right now, but my eyes move with muscles. You have heart muscles. That's what pumps the blood. It's causing the blood to move. Although muscle tissues contract to move your body, nerve tissues tell the muscles tissues to do so. The cells that make up nerve tissues are alike in that they carry messages from one cell to another. So your job with nerve tissues is to carry messages. Your brain is made up of mostly nerve tissue. Other types of tissue that hold your body together, hold your body parts, support the body, cushion organs, or release substances. So guys, then you got a list of all kinds of other tissues that we'll learn as we go through each body. So some support the body. I might think of bones here, hold me upright. They cushion organs, which would be fluids around my heart, cushions the organs. I would think of cartilage. Maybe in my knees would serve as a cushion with it. They don't really, knees aren't organs, but you have different things that'll protect your different organs from the jolts that your body do, or they release substances. We think about hormones that we'll talk about with your endocrine system. All different tissues at work. Next paragraph. When two or more tissues work together to do a job, they form an organ. So now you got your next definition. Notice none of these things are in yellow, guys, because they assume you know that. But we go from cells, put a bunch of cells together, you have tissues. Put a bunch of tissues together, you have organs. Two or more types of tissues that work together to do a job. The job of an organ is usually not as simple as the job of a tissue. In other words, muscle tissue, all you do is contract. Organ, a little bit more. Let's see why. For example, your heart must pump blood all over your body. To do so, it must have different kinds of tissue. It has to have muscle tissue that contracts. It has to have nerve tissue that tells it what to do, and other tissues to hold it together and to carry the blood. So your heart has electrical impulses, guys. That's the nerve tissue. That's why when you see someone having a heart attack, they'll shock them. They'll send electricity to get that going again. The muscle is contracting. You have your different arteries and veins to pump it. You have the things holding it all together. Amazing sets of tissue all doing those things. So I wrote down here, your heart is an example of an organ. Now, each organ in your body is part of an organ system. Different organ systems work together and depend on each other. Read the chart on the next page to see the important jobs each body system does. Okay, so your organ, put a bunch of organs together, you have an organ system. We're going to learn as we go through these organ systems that some of the organs can belong to more than one system. and you'll see how some of those organs help with the digestive system, but also help the endocrine system and things like that. You can also see like a heart, which will be part of your circulatory system because it pumps blood, is really also part of your respiratory, kind of, because the blood it pumps has oxygen that it gets from your respiratory system. It's being run by your nervous system, telling it what to do. It is a muscle, so we could say it's part of your muscular system. So guys, they all overlap. Let's get 13. It says organ systems are organs. That should be of your body working together. Organ systems work together and they also depend on each other. So as I was talking about the heart, guys, you can see how they're part of all kinds of different things. I need my circulatory system, it needs the blood, but it depends on the respiratory system putting the oxygen in the blood, which also goes along with my immune system with the white blood cells fighting off diseases. So they depend on each other. They're all in balance, constantly doing these things without you or me ever thinking about them. Okay, so this picture on the bottom here is my line number 14. I have an individual cell. Put a bunch of the similar cells together and you get tissues. Put a bunch of similar tissues together and you get organs. A group of organs work together to form an organ system. Put all your organ systems together and you have the organism. So that would be human being here, for an example. So here's what they did over here. They said the heart must beat without stopping so that the body has a constant supply of blood. Heart muscle cells have many mitochondria. That's what is pictured in the red here. That's the mitochondria in that cell to provide energy for the task. So here's your cell. Now we put those cells together and it says the arrangement of muscle cells in this heart tissue allows the muscle to shorten and then relax, causing the heart to beat. So we contract, it pumps the blood out of the heart. It relaxes, it lets more blood in. Put that heart organ together. The heart itself is an organ. In addition to muscle tissue, the heart is made of tissue that provides support and protection and that forms its blood vessels. And so you can just see from one to the next, and then we'll learn about the organ systems coming up, and eventually we have the whole system, which is us. I'll read the blue box on the side here. They have a picture of red blood cells and white blood cells. These blood cells are only two of the many kinds of cells that make up your body. Red blood cells carry oxygen throughout the body so that all cells can carry out life's functions. You can see the little bowl shape there in that red blood cell. That's where the oxygen sits. White blood cells help to fight off disease-causing invaders that attack the body. So over here, red blood cells carry oxygen. White blood cells fight off disease-causing invaders. Although each person is unique, the cells of everyone's body are similar in some ways. This similarity makes it possible for individuals to donate their blood to others. So because cells are pretty similar, people can donate blood to others. Now I can't give my blood to just anybody. You might know that there are different blood types. We have blood type A, blood type B. We have a combination of putting those together, AB, and then we also have blood type O. What that is it's the protein that comes from your parents. So last chapter you were talking about genetics, and it's do you have the protein? So I could have protein A from mom, I could have protein B from dad. That would make my blood type AB. I put them together. I could have mom A and dad A, so I'd be blood type A. I could have mom B and dad B, so I'd be blood type B. Or neither one of them had the protein, and so they would be considered O. They don't get any one of those things. Now there's also positive and negatives of that. For example, I am O positive blood type. So I don't have the proteins, therefore I can give my blood to anybody. You can't mix proteins, guys. So I can't give somebody who's B blood to somebody who's A blood type. It causes the blood to clot. It'll literally kill you. But in general, I know the blood type, and we can donate blood type that has the same one. A step further, other cell similarities enables people to donate entire organs. Okay, so kind of interesting to think about. You can donate blood to others, or you could put up with the word, you could donate organs to others. And so you'll hear people who need a heart transplant and things like that. Now, guys, the organ donation thing is pretty cool. You just need to understand how there's not too many organs in your body that you can live without. A kidney, you can live without. You can also splice your liver. But if I need a heart transplant, you need my heart organ, we have to find somebody who's just passed away and then are willing to donate their organ. And so lots of times when you get your driver's license, they'll ask you, do you want to be an organ donor? And you can check yes or no. And so That just means when you die, are you willing to give up your organs? I'm an organ donor. If I'm dead, I don't need my heart anymore. If somebody else wants it, go for it. And then it just depends on matching up. Okay, I wrote down the last one, know your 10 body systems, guys. They're all here, and what we're going to talk about. This chart will be on your test. And just needs to be memorized. You want to try to work on this, guys. I know you can use your book for your test, so it's easy, but in the future, you want to get to this down. I know circulatory moves my blood. Okay, now they said transports oxygen, nutrients, and cell waste. All that stuff is being transported inside my blood, guys. So the circulatory system is your blood system. Digestion breaks down food in the form the body can use. So that's my stomach going on. Endocrine controls internal conditions like growth, development, and reproduction. And we'll talk about the internal conditions of your endocrine glands. Excretory system, we kind of put this system with digestive when we study it. We don't really take it by itself in this chapter. It removes the waste from the blood. It eventually gets it out of your body, okay, going to the bathroom. Immune system defends your bodies against pathogens. That keeps you healthy. Muscular system allows body movements and substances within. So muscular, guys, if I said flex a muscle, we'd all flex our arms, wouldn't we? But what they're also saying is I could flex my heart. Not that I know how to flex a heart muscle, but it's also moving substances within your body. That's your heart. Nervous system controls body movement, thoughts, and behaviors. This is your brain system and all the neurons that go with it. Reproductive system produces your sex cells and offspring. We will not study this one this year more than we did last chapter just on what sexual reproduction is. 7th grade gets into great details of your reproductive system. Respiratory system provides the body with the oxygen and removes the carbon dioxide. That's breathing, guys. That's your lungs. Skeletal system provides body protection and support. It also interacts with the muscles to allow movement. So your body is what makes you stand up and you're not a glob on the floor. It also offers protection. Like you think about your rib cage protecting your lungs and your heart. You think about your skull protecting your brain. The most important organs are surrounded by this bone protection. Okay, as we move on to next lessons, guys, we'll just go through each one of these in greater detail. Awesome, you got a worksheet today. Good luck with it.